Colin Kingsley, you're in big, big trouble.
The screaming voice was like a fire alarm that nobody knew how to turn off. How could a human being produce such a shrill, piercing sound? Yet, its source was unmistakable. I felt my face burn up as the door opened and slammed and a shadowy figure bore down on us. Princess turned to me. "Is that your mum?" Of course it was my mum. And right now she looked like a volcano that had recently erupted and was hurling molten lava onto the villagers below. The villagers, in this case, being me.
"What the hell do you think you're doing?" she screeched. "You were supposed to be back at 9. Your father and I have been worried sick. No call, no text." "Yes, yes. Colin can come around. Yes, yes."
She wrote down the orders and gave them to me.
"Is that my trench coat you're wearing, darling?" she asked.
She knew it was. I just shrugged and didn't tell her that there was no point being a detective if you didn't have a trench coat. I read the orders. Major Marjorie, Buckdean Hall, Seabury Road. 1 7-inch Mark Anchovy pizza. Extra anchovies. Mr. Sterling Biggs, 40 Weeping Willow Way. 1 14-inch Mark Anchovy pizza. Extra anchovies. Patrick Moore, Hut 37, Shingle Row. 1 12-inch Mark Anchovy pizza. Extra anchovies. For most people, this would appear like a fairly harmless list of pizzas. "Wowzers," I said. "Can we see the reindeer?" "If it helps," said Mrs. Biggs. "But it isn't pretty." She led us to the garage, where something stumpy lay covered in an old blanket. Mrs. Biggs folded it back slowly. Oofed. What we were looking at would barely qualify as a reindeer now. Robbed of its head and antlers, it was just a body made from girders, outlined in light bulbs. I fished into the trench coat and produced a pair of washing-up gloves. Yes, before you ask, they were my mum's. I touched the neck and a fine black powder rubbed off. "Any ideas, Pizza Head?" said Princess. I was intrigued, but again I felt time pressing on. "I think we'd best be going, Mrs. Biggs. I shall return with more information." "We'll return with more information," corrected Princess. "Call Caesar Pizza tomorrow," I continued, "and remember to ask for extra anchovies." I blinked and reread it. "Meet me in the alley." I felt my pulse thump. Did she like me? I twitched back the curtain and peered out. At first, it was hard to see Princess, but then I spotted her ponytail curling from her head like a cartoon plume of smoke. "Just getting a glass of water," I whispered to Alicia. Downstairs, I slung on the trench coat, gritted my teeth, and prayed the back door wouldn't squeak. "Over here, Anchovy." It was Princess. At that point, I didn't think to ask why she called me Anchovy. I guess she'd been calling me Pizza Head only moments earlier. "What are you doing here?" "Is it because of earlier? I'm sorry if I got you into trouble. I'm really—" "We don't have time for this, Anchovy," she hissed. "There's important work to be done." I rolled onto it and looked through the gaps in the boards. I got a flash of the second centurion's armour glittering harshly. He looked around. At that moment, when I was most scared, and, I'll admit it, very close to wetting myself, something ridiculous happened. A corny ringtone flitted across the hypogeum. A tinny disco hit. It was coming from the centurion. He put the phone to his ear, blocked by a helmet, of course, and barked into it.
"Yo, you got him? Sick, Bruno. Be right there."